You're listening to Four Things to Know, a WCCO daily news podcast.
Today is Wednesday, July 29th. I'm Johnny Kahner. Thank you for watching and listening to Four Things to Know today. Let's get to our top story. The world's richest man is attempting to block Minnesota's newest law just days before it's set to take effect. Elon Musk's xAI filed a federal lawsuit this week aiming to stop Minnesota's anti-nudification law, claiming it's a violation of free speech. Adam Duxter is at the state capitol. He heard from some of the lawmakers behind that law, including Representative Jessica Hansen.
Technically now this means a judge could put a temporary block on that law before it goes into effect on Saturday, but lawmakers are hoping obviously that is not the case, and they are really contesting today that this has anything to do with free speech. Instead, they're telling us that this has to do with protecting innocent people, women and children, when it comes to their online privacy. Now, as a reminder, this law is the first of its kind across the entire United States and bans apps and websites that create fake sexualized pictures of individuals. And companies who do this could now face a civil penalty of up to $500,000, and people who have been targeted or victimized by online nudification can seek damages. Now, this bill passed with almost unanimous support, and today we're told nearly a dozen more states are going to introduce something across America this year. But Musk and his attorneys argue this law, quote, imposes an overbroad, content-based ban on free speech and the tools of visual expression. Lawmakers who wrote this law say there's no chance that's the case.
When the richest man in the world this hangs out with the Epstein class, and that's who's ruling around the world, especially in this country with little to no consequences, we cannot act surprised when he's trying to protect the #1 tool used to make child sexual abuse material. Why does the richest man in the world want to protect a feature that makes children naked?
And Governor Walz also has put out his reaction on social media yesterday. Here's what he had to say. See you in court, creep. The attorneys representing Elon Musk in this lawsuit, they are local here in Minnesota. And this morning I've called and emailed both ways, trying to reach out to them. I have not heard back yet in search of any comment.
Number 2, an investigation of St. Paul Mayor Kaohly is underway. This is after allegations of sexual harassment towards St. Paul Police Chief Axel Henry and other city employees. That's all according to the Star Tribune. The Strip says a letter was sent by Chief Henry's attorney, Chris Maddle, to the St. Paul city attorney. Maddle stated that Henry had filed a formal complaint. That letter was dated back in April. And that letter was also obtained by the Star Tribune, and it reads in part, quote, Chief Henry has reached the decision to step forward as a formal complainant against the mayor after becoming aware that the mayor's conduct has extended beyond isolated incidents and has included sexual harassment of subordinate city employees, including members of the St. Paul Police Department. Now, WCCO has reached out to Henry's lawyer, but has not yet heard back. We did hear from Mayor Herr's spokesperson. They released a statement saying in part, quote, the mayor has deep respect for city employees and regrets any unintended impact her action may have had. WCCO is continuing to learn more about these accusations. Frankie McClister is on this story for us. He'll have more tonight on WCCO News. Number 3 today, 5 men have been arrested and charged following a month-long investigation into the alleged sexual exploitation of a 14-year-old runaway. The teen girl went missing back in June. 2 days later, she was then found in Minneapolis. All 5 suspects are not connected with one another and allegedly communicated with and engaged in criminal sexual conduct with the teen after meeting through online platforms. The men range in age from 20 to 37 years old. Now, we have some tips for parents on how to keep your children safe. Here's a couple. Know which apps your kids are using. Talk openly about the dangers of speaking with strangers online. Monitor privacy settings on social media, and check who your children follow and be on the lookout for secretive behavior. Your 4th thing to know today, lawmakers in Minnesota and beyond launched a new nationwide effort aimed at increasing accountability for federal immigration agents. They're pushing for the ability to sue ICE agents in state court. Illinois, Colorado, and Utah legislators are also part of this effort. The legislation would allow citizens to pursue civil lawsuits against ICE agents for alleged constitutional violations. Supporters say the proposal is meant to create more accountability for ICE. Minnesota State Senator Omar Fateh is one of those legislators, and in a press release, he mentioned the killings of Renee Good and Alex Preddy in Minnesota and said, quote, "To date, no federal immigration agent has ever been convicted of criminal wrongdoing nor held personally liable while on duty." Fateh, who represents the district where Preddy and Good were killed in January, co-authored a bill this past legislative session that sought to allow Minnesotans to sue for compensation for civil rights violations at the hands of federal agents, but that bill failed. Other states like Connecticut, Illinois, Maryland, and Vermont did successfully pass similar laws. Those are your 4 things to know today. Let's get a check-in now on our next weather forecast. Another hot one out there today.
Hi, I'm next weather meteorologist Lisa Meadows. Our forecast tonight down to 73, your overnight low as we head into tomorrow, taking that high back up to the low 90s once again, looking to top out at 91.
And now, here's more to know.
A Minnesota mother says her son will likely never walk again after last week's mass shooting in Minneapolis. It happened outside Rain nightclub in the Uptown neighborhood. Police said a fight led to gunfire as a crowd waited to get inside the club, and bullets hit 9 people. One of those was 20-year-old Devin Wyatt. Wyatt's mother, Erica Williams, says he was set to graduate from a construction program this fall, but now he's in the hospital being treated for a spinal cord injury, several broken ribs, and a collapsed lung. Just tragic. The family says they have not learned a lot from police.
I've heard something one time about they had a lead, but that was all I heard from them. I just wish people would just put the guns down. It's not worth it.
The family is hoping to raise $60,000 to cover hospital bills. Police say they have not arrested anyone for the shooting, but are still investigating. We are 1 week away from the planned closure of St. Paul's largest homeless encampment, but it is still causing conflict for those in the area on how to best prioritize safety and shelter for all involved. In all, the city says about 220 people live in the 3 major camps. The majority of those are in xAI Park, which is home to roughly 140 people. City leaders estimate another 80 people live at the next 2 biggest encampments. The problem, according to the city, is that those 3 encampments are not safe. The city says they are also responsible for more than 850 911 calls over the past year. Concerned residents, elected officials, and people living in those camps met at a forum last night. Many of those were wondering why the city would move forward without enough shelter beds and criticizing what they call a lack of outreach. And even at times last night, things turned contentious. Ramsey County Commissioner Rafael Ortega expressed some doubt in the plan.
I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and say it's going to be successful. We're going to do our best. We would try across the board. The bottom line is, regardless of how much money there is out there aren't enough beds today to purchase and housing. And so we're looking at other solutions of how we can move forward.
Ramsey County commissioners did vote to partner with St. Paul yesterday and accept more than $1 million in city funding to expand shelter beds. We'll keep you updated on where that all goes. We're less than 2 weeks away from the Republican and DFL primaries in Minnesota. WCCO's Esme Murphy is following one of the biggest races.
I am in the 2nd Congressional District, which is the district that has the only open congressional seat in all of the state of Minnesota. That's because, of course, Angie Craig, the person who's held that district for a number of years now, is running for the U.S. Senate. So there's a lot of interest in the primary here. On the Democratic side, you have 3 elected officials or former elected officials that are running against each other. You've got State Representative Kayla Berg, who is also a flight attendant. You've got Dr. Matt Klein, who is a state senator. And you also have former state senator Matt Little, who also is the former mayor of Lakeville. A lot of interest and support for Matt Little down here in Lakeville. There's a lot of interest in this primary. On the Republican side, you only have one person running, and that is Senator Eric Pratt.
There are also signs that voter turnout for this primary could be higher. New figures released by the Minnesota Secretary of State on Thursday show more than 319,000 ballots have been requested and more than 60,000 from both mail-in and in-person absentee have been returned and accepted. The number requested is already more than in the 2024 and 2022 primaries. The Washington County Fair begins today. All sorts of fun happening over in Stillwater, rides, of course, games, vendors, exhibits, much, much more. This fair, it's been around for 155 years. It lasts through Sunday. Kids 7 and under get in free. Fun way to spend an evening or a night on the weekend. Yeah, that's in Stillwater. Let's talk sports today. It is the first official practice of Vikings training camp. It's happening right now as I record. Big day, obviously. All eyes are going to be on the quarterbacks, Kyler and J.J. McCarthy. We'll definitely have big coverage for you tonight in sports. Mike Max is out there. I'm sure he will have a lot to say. Also, big win last night for the Minnesota Twins. Royce Lewis, big walk-off. They took down the Royals. The Twins are back to 500. Now, the trade deadline is on Monday, and the team said that they would be buyers this year. Yeah, can you believe it? Last year they sold, so we'll see what actually happens, but that was yesterday. So it's going to be an interesting week. They're right on the cusp of the playoffs right now if the season were to end today, right there. Twins are back in action tonight at Target Field.
It's time to take a breath with your Daily Bright Spot.
A group of Minnesota breast cancer survivors plan to take their paddling skills to France. The Dragon Divas of Minnesota are a dragon boat team of survivors. They're planning to compete in an International Breast Cancer Paddlers Commission Dragon Boat Festival. It's a competition with thousands of survivors representing 37 countries. Now, if you'd like to help support their journey to France, they are hosting a fundraiser event tonight over at a bar of their own in Minneapolis. That's going on from 5 until 8 o'clock. I wish them luck out in France. That's a great mission. Sounds like fun, too. Hopefully they can bring it home for us. Well, I'm Johnny Kahner. This has been 4 Things to Know. We're here with the news you need every weekday afternoon by 3 o'clock. Maria is on vacation this week. She'll be back on Monday. Thanks for tuning in today. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Have a good Wednesday night, everybody.
Listen to 4 Things to Know, a WCCO daily news podcast, wherever you get your podcasts.
Love podcasts? Love Minnesota?
Check out the WCCO podcast studio lineup.
Hear the top stories of the day with 4 Things to Know.
Discover top female athletes and teams from around the state on women in sports.
Dive into stories about faith and belief, from your local leaders to your neighbors next door, with bigger than belief.
Stay in the know on the go with the WCCO podcast studio. Go to WCCO.com/podcasts.